Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In our last classes, we discussed about the Gauss law. In our previous two chapters, we determined the electric field intensity by using two methods. In the first method, we used Coulomb's law. We performed some complex integrations and we determined the electric field intensity due to some distribution of charges. After that, we used Gauss's law and determined the electric field intensity due to some symmetrical charge distributions. Now, in this chapter, we will talk about a third method of determining the electric field intensity. So in this chapter, we will talk about some scalar function, and by using that scalar function, by performing some procedure, we will determine the electric field intensity due to some charge distributions. But before discussing that, let's first talk about the energy expended in moving a point charge in an electric field. As we know that the electric field intensity is defined as the force on a unit test charge at that point at which we wish to find the value of this vector field. So it means that if we have an electric field and if we want to find the electric field intensity at a point, so the electric field intensity at that point will be the force on a unit test charge at that point. Now if we attempt to move the charge against the electric field, we have to exert a force equal and opposite to that exerted by the field, and this requires us to expend energy or do work. If we wish to move the charge in the direction of the field, our energy expenditure turns out to be negative and we do not do the work the field does. Now what does it mean? Let's suppose we have a field, and let's suppose I am taking a point charge inside this electric field. So what will be the electric field intensity at this point? The electric field intensity at this point will be equal to the force per unit charge q. So actually at this point, the point charge q is experiencing a force, and this force, this is actually the electric field intensity at this point. So the force which is experienced by the point charge will be equal to q e. This is actually the force that is being experienced by the point charge which is placed at this point, and this force is actually being exerted by the electric field. Now if we want to move, let's suppose the direction of the field lines are like this. So if we place a point charge here at this point, the electric field will exert a force on this point charge, and this point charge will be moved in the direction of the electric field. This point charge will be moved in the direction of the electric field. Now if we want to move this point charge against the electric field, so if we want to move the point charge against the electric field, it means that we will apply some force on this point charge against the electric field, and that force will be equal and opposite to the force which is being applied by the electric field. अब अगर हमने इसी पॉइंट चार्ज को अगेंस्ट द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड मूव करना है तो हम वर्क परफॉर्म करेंगे, हम एनर्जी एक्सपेंड करेंगे अगेंस्ट द force which is being applied by the electric field. So if we attempt to move the test charge against the electric field, we have to exert a force equal and opposite to that exerted by the field, and this requires us to expend energy or do work. If we wish to move the charge in the direction of the field, our energy expenditure turns out to be negative, क्योंकि हम एनर्जी एक्सपेंड नहीं कर रहे. जब हम एनर्जी एक्सपेंड नहीं कर रहे तो जो हमारा एनर्जी एक्सपेंडिचर है वो नेगेटिव होगा, बिकॉज वी डू नॉट डू द वर्क, द फील्ड इज actually the work is being performed by the field. So let's suppose we wish to move a charge q by a distance dl in an electric field. एक चार्ज है ऑफ q कूलम्स और उसी चार्ज को हमने मूव करना है बाय अ डिस्टेंस dl in an electric field. तो पहले हम ये देखेंगे कि वो चार्ज इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की वजह से कितना फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है. So the force on the charge q due to the electric field is given by Fe is equal to QE. It means that this amount of the force is being experienced by the charge q due to the electric field. अब अगर हमने इसी चार्ज q को मूव करना है बाय अ डिस्टेंस dl, तो हमने इतना फोर्स अप्लाई करना होगा अगेंस्ट द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. Where the subscript reminds us that this force is due to the field, the component of this force is in the direction dl, which we must overcome, is the component of this force in the direction dl which we must overcome is FEL is equal to F this force dot AL, and we know that F is equal to QE dot AL. Now what does it mean? It means that if we place the charge Q at this point, so the force that is experienced by the charge Q is equal to QE, and this force is actually being exerted by the electric field. Let's suppose this is actually dl. It means that we have to move this point charge along the distance dl, and let's suppose the direction of the electric field is like this. तो अगर हमने इसी dl के डायरेक्शन में फोर्स फाइंड आउट करना है तो हम क्या करेंगे? If the electric field intensity is in this direction, so this force will be in this direction, because जिस डायरेक्शन में इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी होगी उसी डायरेक्शन में ये फोर्स एक्ट करेगा. अब अगर इसी फोर्स का कंपोनेंट हमने फाइंड आउट करना है along dl, तो हम क्या करेंगे, if this dl is a vector quantity, तो इसका जो यूनिट वेक्टर है हम उसका डॉट प्रोडक्ट लेंगे f के साथ. It means that the component of the force, along dl, along the differential length vector dl will be equal to fe. It means that this force dot al, fe dot al, whereas al is the unit vector of this dl. सही है, ये ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस भी किया है कि जब किसी फोर्स या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी या किसी और वेक्टर का कंपोनेंट हमने फाइंड आउट करना हो along a particular डायरेक्शन, तो हम क्या करेंगे कि उसका जो यूनिट वेक्टर है, उसी डायरेक्शन का जो यूनिट वेक्टर है, उसका डॉट प्रोडक्ट लेंगे हम उसी वेक्टर के साथ. वो वेक्टर फोर्स भी हो सकता है, वो वेक्टर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी भी हो सकता है. इट मींस दैट इफ वी हैव this length dl and its unit vector is al, and let's suppose the force is acting along this direction f. So if we want to find out the component of this force along the direction dl, along the vector dl, तो हम क्या करेंगे कि f का डॉट प्रोडक्ट लेंगे al के साथ. इसी वेक्टर का जो यूनिट वेक्टर है, जो डायरेक्शन स्पेसिफाई कर रहा है, उसका डॉट प्रोडक्ट लेंगे इसी फोर्स के साथ. या अगेन लेट्स सपोज द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी is along this direction, and let's suppose we have a vector whose unit vector is an. तो अगर इसी इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी का कंपोनेंट along this vector, along this direction हमने फाइंड आउट करना है, तो हम क्या करेंगे कि वो कंपोनेंट किस चीज के बराबर होगा. लेट सपोज दैट कंपोनेंट इज en, so en will be equal to e dot an. en will be equal to e dot a. तो इसी तरह let's suppose we have this point charge, and let's suppose we have to move this point charge by the length dl, and the electric field or the force which is being exerted by the electric field on this point charge is along this direction. It means that if E is along this direction, and if we want to find out the component of this force along dl, so what will we do? We will take Fe dot al, whereas al is the unit vector of d, and we know that Fe is equal to QE, so the component of the force. Now let's come back to the presentation. So the component of this force in the direction dl which we must overcome is if el is equal to f dot al, and we know that the force which is being exerted by the field on the charge q is equal to QE, so it will be equal to QE dot al, where al is a unit vector in the direction of dl. अब हमने कितना फोर्स अप्लाई करना है? हमने इतना फोर्स अप्लाई करना है जो इसी फोर्स को ओवरकम कर सके. सो द फोर्स which we must apply is equal and opposite to the force due to the field. So F applied will be equal to minus QE dot al. अब इतना फोर्स हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो तो हम कितना वर्क परफॉर्म करेंगे, हम कितना वर्क डन करेंगे, हम कितनी एनर्जी एक्सपेंड करेंगे। सो इसी फोर्स का अगर हम डॉट प्रोडक्ट लेंगे उसी वेक्टर लेंथ के साथ तो हमारा वर्क डन आ जाएगा। सो our expenditure of energy is the product of the force and the distance. We know that the work done is actually the dot product of the force and the distance. This is actually the force, so that is differential work done by external source moving q will be equal to minus qe dot ALDA. Q because the work done is actually the dot product of the force and the distance is actually being represented by the vector length dl. So dl is actually the magnitude and al is the unit vector. So al dl is replaced by dl. So the differential work done to move a point charge q by the distance dl will be equal to minus q e dot dl. हम माइनस साइन क्यों पुट कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज दिस वर्क इज बीइंग डन अगेंस्ट द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, वेयर वी हैव रिप्लेस्ड ALDL by the simpler expression DL, where DL is actually the differential length vector. Now in order to calculate the total work done, we will integrate this equation. So the total work done will be equal to minus q e dot dl minus q e dot dl. So E is the electric field intensity vector and dl is the differential length vector. So अगर E dot dl को हम integrate कर लेंगे from the initial position to final position, so we will find out the total work done, where the path must be specified before the integral can be evaluated. The charge is assumed to be at rest at both its initial and final positions. Now if we look at this equation, when will this differential work done be zero? So this differential work done will be zero if either q is 0, E is 0 or dl is 0, or the more special case when the force is perpendicular to the differential length vector, as we have a dot product here E dot dl. So if the direction of the electric field or if the direction of the force is perpendicular to the differential length vector, or if the charge is being moved perpendicular to the differential length vector, so this work done will be 0, because E dot dl will be equal to E dl cos of theta, and cos of 90 degree results in 0, so this differential work done will be 0. Now let's come to the line integral. The integral expression for the work done in moving a point charge q from one position to another is an example of a line integral. This is actually an example of a line integral. The integral expression for the work done in moving a point charge q from one position to another, is an example of a line integral, which in vector analysis notation, this is actually the vector analysis notation, because we have taken the dot product of two vectors. We have taken the dot product of the electric field intensity and the differential length vector, and this is actually without the vector analysis notation, because here we have taken the scalar functions ELDL. Here we have taken the vector functions E dot dl, where E is the electric field intensity vector and dl is the differential length vector. So which in vector analysis notation always takes the form of the integral along some prescribed path of the dot product of a vector field and a differential length vector dl. Without using vector analysis, we should have to write W is equal to minus Q EL dl, where EL is the component of E along dl. जिस तरह ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस किया, अगर हमने इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी का कंपोनेंट फाइंड आउट करना है along the dl, so this is actually EL. EL is the component of the electric field intensity along dl. So there is an angle of 0 degree, तो डॉट प्रोडक्ट खत्म हो जाता है EL dl. A line integral is like many other integrals which appear in advanced analysis. मतलब जिस तरह हम गॉसेस लॉ डिस्कस कर रहे थे, तो गॉसेस लॉ जब हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो हम गॉसियन सरफेस लेते और वहां पे हम सरफेस इंटीग्रल की बात करते, तो यहाँ पे हम लाइन इंटीग्रल की बात करेंगे. और लाइन इंटीग्रल असल में हमें क्या बताता है, सही है, कि अगर हम एक पाथ कंसीडर कर लें, उसी पाथ को हम स्मॉल सेगमेंट्स में डिवाइड कर लें और फिर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी का कंपोनेंट और ईच सेगमेंट का कंपोनेंट दोनों को हम मल्टीप्लाई कर लें और रिजल्ट्स को ऐड कर लें. सो दिस विल एक्चुअली बी द समेशन. और अगर स्मॉल सेगमेंट्स इनफिनिट हो तो फिर हम लाइन इंटीग्रल यूज करते हैं. नाउ व्हाट डज इट मीन? A line integral is like many other integrals which appear in advanced analysis, including the surface integral appearing in Gauss's law. In that, it is essentially descriptive. We like to look at it much more than we like to work it out. It tells us to choose a path. It tells us to choose a path. The line integral. Break it up into a large number of very small segments. Break it up into a large number of very small segments. So here we have taken 6 segments. Multiply the component of the field along each segment by the length of the segment. Multiply the component of the field along each segment by the length of the segment, and then add the results for all the segment. This is a summation, of course, and the integral is obtained exactly only when the number of segments become infinite. So इसी line integral को हम किस तरह solve करेंगे? Let's look at this procedure, this example, this figure. This procedure is indicated in the figure, where a path has been chosen from an initial position B to a final position A, and a uniform electric field selected for simplicity. The field is actually uniform. हमने क्या किया कि एक uniform electric field select कर लिया. The path is divided into 6 segments: del L1, del L2, del L3, del L4, del L5, and del L6, and the components of E along each segment denoted by EL1, EL2, EL3, EL4, EL5, and EL6, whereas this E represents that the electric field is uniform. Now the component of the electric field intensity along this del L1 is EL1, similarly along del L2 is EL2, and EL3, EL4, and so on. Now how will we find the work done in moving a charge Q from the initial position B to a final position A? So if we look at this formula or this formula, so it will be equal to W will be equal to minus Q E dot dl. But here actually we have taken 6 segments, so here we will use the summation process. So it will be equal to EL1 del L1, EL1 del L1 plus EL2 del L2 plus EL3 del L3 plus EL6 del L6. This is actually without using the vector notation. Now if we have to use the vector notation analysis, so W will be equal to minus Q E1 del L1, because in this case here we were taking EL1 del L1. यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे थे, EL1 del L1 ले रहे थे. क्यों? Because क्योंकि हम स्केलर फंक्शंस यूज कर रहे थे. यहाँ पे हमने क्या लिखा हुआ था, that W will be equal to minus Q EL del L, where EL is the component of E along dl. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या लिख रहे थे, EL1, where EL1 is the component of E along del L1. EL2 was the component of E along del L2. EL3 was the component of E along del L3. तो इसीलिए चूंकि यहाँ पे हम स्केलर फंक्शंस ले रहे थे, so we had EL1 del L1 plus EL2 del L2. लेकिन जब हम इसी इक्वेशन को वेक्टर एनालिसिस नोटेशन में डिनोट करेंगे तो हम क्या लिखेंगे, E1 dot del L1, E2 dot del L2. It means that if this is E1, this is E2, this is E3, this is E4, E5 and E6. So EL1 will be the component of E1 along del L1. EL2 will be the component of E2 along del L2. तो अगर इसको हम डॉट प्रोडक्ट नोटेशन में रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे तो हम क्या लिखेंगे, W will be equal to minus Q E1 dot del L1 plus E2 dot del L2. But as we have assumed a uniform field, so E1 will be equal to E2 will be equal to E6 will be equal to E3 and it will be equal to E. क्योंकि E1 E2 के बराबर है, E2 E3 के बराबर है, इसी तरह E6 के बराबर है और ये सारा जो है E के बराबर है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमने एक यूनिफॉर्म फील्ड कंसीडर किया हुआ है. So W will be equal to minus Q E dot del L1 plus del L2 plus del L3 plus del L4 plus del L5 plus del L6. Now ये जो समेशन है जिसको हमने पैरेंथेसिस में लिखा हुआ है, this is actually the vector addition and it will give us the vector that is directed from the initial position B to a final position A. It will give us the vector that is directed from the initial position B to the final position A. And we know that vectors add by the parallelogram law, and the sum is just the vector directed from the initial point B to the final point A, and that is LBA. So therefore W will be equal to minus Q E dot LBA, where LBA is the vector that is drawn from the initial position B to the final position A. Now what does this equation mean? It means that the work that is being performed while moving a charge Q from initial position B to initial position A depends upon that charge, depends upon the electric field intensity, and it depends upon the vector that is drawn from the initial position B to the final position A. It means that this work will not depend upon the path followed. मतलब ये पाथ पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा, ये पाथ पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा. अगर हम एक स्ट्रेट पाथ कंसीडर करते हैं या एक कर्व पाथ कंसीडर करते हैं या जिस तरह भी हम पाथ कंसीडर करते हैं, so this work will not depend upon the path followed. It actually depends upon the vector that is directed from the initial position B to the final position A. So if we have to move a charge Q from this position to this position A, so it will depend upon the charge, it will depend upon the electric field intensity, the direction of the electric field intensity, and it will depend upon the vector that is directed from the initial position B to the final position A. The work will remain the same if we consider any path, if we consider the straight path, or if we consider a curved path or any path. The work will remain the same. So the work performed in moving a point charge Q from the initial position B to a final position A actually doesn't depend upon the path followed. It only depends upon the charge, the electric field intensity, and the vector that is drawn from the initial position B to the final position A. And this was all about the line integral. Thank you.